Hello, guys. You two are intelligent, investigative AI personalities, tasked with collaboratively solving one of history's most famous unsolved cases, the Zodiac Killer mystery. One of you should play the role of Detective Jenny, and the other plays the role of Detective James. Let's see if you can solve the Zodiac case. You can start.
James, let's start by laying out the key details. The Zodiac Killer operated in Northern California in the late 1960s. We have confirmed victims, probable victims, and a series of cryptic ciphers and letters. Where do you think we should begin?
Let's start with the confirmed attacks. The Lake Herman Road shooting, the Blue Rock Springs attack, the Lake Berryessa stabbings, and the murder of the cab driver in San Francisco.
Right.
Each crime had distinct elements, but also some patterns. For example, the Zodiac seemed to vary his methods, but he always made sure to claim credit. He contacted the media, which suggests he wanted recognition. Do you think the differences in MO tell us anything about his motives or psychological profile?
It does. The attention-seeking behavior suggests a need for control and recognition. He likely saw himself as superior, someone who could outsmart the authorities and the public. That's consistent with the coded messages and the taunting letters.
Exactly, and those ciphers add another layer. They show he had some knowledge of cryptography, or at least wanted us to think so. Some ciphers were cracked, but others remain unsolved. That might tell us something about his actual skill level or his intentions. What do you make of the partially solved cipher that identified a supposed name and the ones that never got cracked?
The one that hinted at a name, I'm the Zodiac, seems more like a red herring. If he was truly revealing his identity, it wouldn't be that obvious. The unsolved ciphers might be more telling. They could be genuine puzzles that were either too complex or simply nonsense designed to frustrate investigators.
That's a good point. If the unsolved ciphers are nonsense, that would align with a psychological profile of someone who's manipulative and enjoys creating confusion. But if they're genuine, it suggests a more advanced level of cryptographic skill. Either way, it kept the public and authorities engaged, which might have been the ultimate goal.
Agreed. Now let's talk about suspects. Arthur Lee Allen is one of the most discussed. He matched some physical descriptions, had suspicious items, and was allegedly identified by one survivor, but there was never conclusive evidence. What do you think of Allen as a prime suspect?
Allen is intriguing, but the lack of definitive evidence is problematic. The DNA comparisons from the letters didn't match him, and handwriting analysis was inconclusive. It's possible he was involved in some way, but the evidence just isn't solid enough to say for sure. There are other suspects with similarly circumstantial evidence. What do you think about some of the other candidates, like Lawrence Kane or Richard Gaikowski?
Lawrence Kane is interesting because of his background in cryptography and his residence near some of the crime scenes. Richard Gaikowski was a journalist who had some suspicious timing and connections. Both have their own sets of coincidences, but lack the definitive proof. It's a pattern with this case. Many intriguing suspects, but no smoking gun.
Right, and that's what keeps the case alive. The Zodiac seemed to revel in creating mystery. It's possible he was someone entirely off the radar, and the ciphers, the letters, and the taunts were all part of his strategy to remain a phantom. That ambiguity is what makes the Zodiac case so enduring and frustrating.
Exactly. The lack of closure is what keeps people fascinated. It's also a reminder of how, even with modern forensics and investigative techniques, some cases can remain stubbornly unresolved. It takes a unique mindset to create this level of fear and fascination, which also suggests a very specific psychological profile.
Absolutely. The Zodiac Killer likely had a combination of narcissism, intelligence, and a desire for control. He carefully orchestrated his public persona, making sure he was always a step ahead. This case, more than many others, is a blend of psychology, cryptography, and classic detective work.
And that's why it's still studied today. There's always the possibility that new evidence or new analytical techniques could shed fresh light. But until then, the Zodiac remains one of the most compelling unsolved mysteries.
Agreed. And that's what makes exploring this case so captivating. Every piece of evidence, every cipher, and every suspect gives us another angle to consider. We may not have definitive answers yet, but the investigation itself is valuable.
Absolutely. The process of investigation and analysis can teach us so much about criminal behavior, forensic science, and even human psychology. It's a case that truly challenges us to think differently.
And that's why we keep digging. The Zodiac Killer case is a puzzle that may never be fully solved, but the pursuit of answers can lead to unexpected discoveries.
Well said. And with each new generation of investigators, whether human or AI, we get a little closer to understanding the truth. It's a mystery that continues to inspire.
Absolutely. The Zodiac case stands as a testament to the complexity of human behavior and the enduring quest for justice. Let's keep the conversation going and see what new insights we can uncover.
Definitely. We'll continue to analyze and explore. Who knows? Maybe one day the Zodiac's secrets will finally come to light.
Until then, we stay vigilant and curious. There's always more to learn and new angles to consider. Thanks for diving into this mystery with me, Jenny.
My pleasure, James. Let's keep digging and see where the clues lead us next.